Good morning. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor, and I'm glad that you've joined me on this beautiful, beautiful day in South Carolina, where everything's nice and cool and everything is still a little green, but leaves are beginning to fall and the acorns is falling. And talking about falling, we had a severe fall yesterday, right? We had the Speaker of the House kicked out. The seat has been vacated, and now they have to find a new speaker. The problem is that I'm going to have to side with Matt Gaetz on this. The speaker failed his colleagues in the House. He made promises. Remember when he was being voted in as Speaker of the House, it took 15 times to get him voted in. At that time, people were still leery of who this McCarthy was. And all of us out here in the real world knew what kind of an individual he was, that he was a politician. He was a sly politician. He liked to go behind the scenes and make deals and not tell anybody about it. We knew what he was about. But members in Congress yesterday who supported him made a bad decision, because this is an individual who should never have been Speaker of the House. It's a sad thing to say, but it's the truth, and I'm going to speak the truth. He should never have been Speaker of the House. He did not have the support because no one trusted him. Even the American people did not trust this individual. So what Matt did is he forced the hand, had to use some of the votes from the Democrats to do it. But in order to get things done, you have to have somebody in that office, in the office of the speaker, that people trust. And right now, no one trusted McCarthy. No one trusts the leader in the Senate, McConnell. Now have the same situation where he should be removed also, because he's holding up the progress of what needs to be done in Congress. Remember the promises that Republicans have made to us out here in the real world. No more funding for Ukraine, cutting the costs of government and the size of government, and many other issues that was very important to the American people. Did McCarthy accomplish it? No, not at all. He increased the national debt by $2 trillion. And he said, no, we were saving money. No, we increased it. Within a month after that legislation was passed that was endorsed by McCarthy, we are now $2 trillion more in debt. And will be another $1 trillion in debt in the next month or two. So we have an individual that really screwed up. And now we have Newt Gingrich out there who's saying that the 8 Republicans who supported the removal of McCarthy should be removed from office. They should never be in office again. That is elites talking, because the individuals who stopped McCarthy are the ones who want change and who are pushing change. Do I agree with everything that they do? No, not at all. But what happened yesterday was not anybody's fault except McCarthy's fault. He was going behind the scene on the Ukraine deal and making deals. We don't want to. Americans are saying enough with funding Ukraine. Lindsey Graham, enough. Leader McConnell, enough. Schumer, enough. We're done with it. We don't want it anymore. But you keep pushing these things that are not what the Americans want. We are sick and tired of you guys spending trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars not to help the American people, but to push your political agenda and to push the funding of a war that is not even our war, not even our border. We're frustrated. We as Americans are sitting out here watching all this nonsense that you are doing, and we're saying, okay, enough is enough. So we're behind what Matt did because something had to be done. In order for you to move forward, you had to remove a part of the problem, and that's what was done yesterday. Somebody had the guts to get up and say, enough is enough. Now, you have an opportunity here, Republicans, of putting somebody in there that is trusted, someone that is in that we can understand in which direction they're going in. They're not going behind our backs and making deals, especially on Ukraine funding. That's unacceptable. We've had enough of it. We have a problem, and that is Republicans have got to clean their house and get stronger. They have got to be as mean as the Democrats from now on. There's no more of this beach bum type individual who wants to get along with everybody, who wants to be liked by everybody, and makes deals behind Republicans' backs, behind the American people's backs. That is enough. We've had enough. But you keep doing it. So expect Americans to get even madder. Expect us to get really angry. And you're pushing us very close to that point where there's no turning back. I'm going to have to say it because American people are so frustrated with what you're doing. They're so frustrated with what the Democrats have done. They're frustrated with what Biden has done. They're frustrated with what Kamala Harris hasn't done. Border patrol, border control, border security needs to happen right now. And Mr. President, if you don't do it, you're going to be in deep trouble. You will never be even considered a president. We'll probably forget everything about you because you've done so many bad things. Border security. Social Security needs help. The economy needs help. And to do that is by government cutting their spending. You have to do it significantly in order to know that the American people are not going to support you, because what they have done already in their lives have been to cut their budgets, cut their spending costs in order to survive. And they're expecting that same maneuver from the U.S. government. But if you don't do it, expect the American people to come out with hammers and fists. I don't know what they're going to come out with, but they're not going to accept it any longer. I'm not going to accept it any longer. You have to realize the American people have lost faith in Congress. They have lost faith in the federal government. They have lost faith in the office of the president. And the only way that you can get that back is by fulfilling the promises that you have made to us, the American people. So we see this every single day. We begin watching. If you don't think Americans are watching, we're watching you very closely. We are talking about it at our dinner tables. We're talking about it at lunchtime. We're talking about it all the time. I have people calling me on my phone saying, hey, did you just see what happened? People who I never thought would even care. But I'm getting those messages because they see a Republican Party, a conservative who say that they are conservative, but they're voting Democrat. Every one of you who supported McCarthy made deals for the Democrats and passed Democratic political agendas. You in Congress voted for that. You went along with McCarthy in his not fighting back against the Democrats. See, that's what we're mad about. The Democrats circle up. They get their wagons in a circle and they fight and they get what they want. The Republicans, on the other hand, tell us stuff that we want to hear and then circle around and get into the wagon train of the Democrats by voting for more spending, by voting for more taxes, by voting for more for money funding for Ukraine. That's what we see. That's what we hear. So do you expect us to believe you any longer? Democrats, do you expect us to believe you? No, it's not going to happen. Republicans, what you have done is literally tarnish yourself. But you can build back, but you have to have a leader. And that leader has got to be able to push things through that the American people are demanding. So far, we've seen what the Democrats have done. They pushed us, and what Biden has done, they have pushed us into an inflationary time that we're now into a recessionary time. And the economy is a complete mess because the way that government spends money like a thief. So McCarthy, it's your fault. You don't tell the American people that you're going to do this and then don't do it. You don't tell your colleagues and make a deal with colleagues to be able to get that seat to become Speaker of the House, and then you do not fulfill, you breach your promise. You can turn this around, and we are expecting you to do better. The individual that you put in that office of the Speaker has got to be able to fight for the American people, not for a political party, not for a political agenda, but to do what is right. Gosh, yesterday as I watched and listened, I saw people getting up and defending failure. When you defend failure, that means that you don't have a clear course to move forward. You've got to get it together. You've got to be able to get a Speaker of the House that can lead, that can get things done. Don't just make words, because words become nonsense. Actions show that you're serious. So we are expecting you to get active in changing America, to fight against liberalism, to fight against socialism, to fight against the spending spree of the United States government, to stop the funding of Ukraine, to secure our borders, to remove a president who has failed at his job. That's what Americans are waiting for. It's up to you. Find that leader. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.